The first frequently asked question that a lot of the viewers were asking was, can a spouse of a deceased veteran, a spouse or some kind of dependent, claim on their behalf the
So if you're a
benefits?
spouse of a veteran who has passed, the big question that we get a lot of times is, do I have any rights to their benefits? Is there any way that I can get any of that money? And the good news is, yes, you can. It's not necessarily the easiest thing. That's why a lot of people come to VetComm to get help. But a couple of things must be true in order for this to happen. One, it's helpful if your veteran was rated at 100% and that they passed for the thing that they were rated for. So recently, there's been a lot of Vietnam era veterans passing for Agent Orange cancers or exposures. So in that case, a lot of that generation is rated, and so their spouses will end up collecting the dollars that they get every single month, not the whole of it, but they will end up getting some money. Now, if you're a veteran out there watching this, or a spouse or a child of a veteran that is not rated, and your dad or your spouse is passing, they are en route, it's not turning back, that doesn't mean that we can't accomplish it. We were able to, in less than 3 weeks, get a man who is on hospice, get all of his stuff done in less than 3 weeks, and his wife is now collecting his benefits. So anything is possible if you have the right help. So absolutely, this can totally happen. So what's next?
Another big question is, are you guys accredited?
Are we accredited? That's a very good question. So I'm going to explain to you what it means to be accredited, right? So the VA invented this accreditation, right? They invented it, and then they convinced you that you should only go with somebody who's accredited. Well, being accredited means this. It means that you are in some ways in collusion with the VA. Not to say that you're not doing good work or that you don't make good claims, but being accredited typically means that you can only make claims for things found in the service members' records. Well, as we all know, like I know, I'm 100% rated for 70% of things that are not in my record. So if I had let somebody accredited do my rating, I'd still be at 50%, right? What about all the guys who had PTSD? Well, there was no such thing as PTSD back in the day. It's not going to be found in your record. That's why you find a lot of the older veterans rated for only hearing loss and tinnitus. They might have stormed the beach somewhere, and they're not going to be rated for that. The other thing that happens when you're accredited is you're not allowed to coach. So you can only do the very basic function of making the claim, whether that's on paper claim or a computer claim. You can make the claim, but you can't coach. Well, the only real value in what anyone can offer you is coaching, because otherwise you're going to show up to that rating appointment not knowing what you should be doing, and you will not win. Let's say it's mental health. They're going to get you to talk about your childhood, and in that case, you're going to end up losing. So if you don't have the coaching, you're likely not going to win. That's what we provide at VetComm.us is the coaching piece. We are like the best of the best in the world at doing the coaching. So being accredited is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does really limit your capacity. We could be accredited. We made the concerted effort not to be, because we feel our value is in coaching you, the veteran, to go contend with the VA. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, one other question is, why should any veteran pick VetComm over any of the other claim consulting?
Got it. So why should you pick VetComm? This is very easy for me. So one, I'm the CEO of VetComm. I served in the Marine Corps in the intelligence community. I took about 15, almost 17 years actually, to get myself rated to 100% before I ever started this company. I did it the long and hardest way possible. I first started with the DAV, then I went with VetComp and Penn, and then I eventually did it myself because the lawyers don't really do anything, okay? So the big differentiator between the three buckets of people that can help you, first you have the free. You have the Legion, the DAV, the VFW. Not gonna knock them. A lot of great people doing great work, but there's a very finite number of them, and they work a very finite number of hours. So to give you an idea of how much more claims we do, we did more claims at VetComm than the entire American Legion did for all of the state of California last year. And last year we were much smaller than we are now. So they don't do a high volume of claims, and because they don't do a high volume of claims, they don't really understand the inner workings of the VA, because the VA pivots all the time. They're always trying to create an adversarial process. So if you don't keep up on it, you're going to be behind the curve. Then there's all the guys who take back pay. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not super comfortable paying $3,000 to $20,000 for something that they're going to have you do yourself. They are not going to coach you. They're going to send you instructions how to make your own claim, and then tick, tick, they're going to make it take as long as possible. Do you ever wonder why when you use a lawyer, it's been like a year and your claim's still not made? Well, that's because they made your intent to file stacking up your back pay so they can essentially steal from you. Then you have VetComm. Because we do not take any back pay, not a single dollar, we don't want to be complicit in your failure. We are trying to do it as fast as we possibly can. We feel like you probably need money now. You need groceries now, gas now, want to be a homeowner now, not in a year or two from now. So we take no back pay. We make all of your claims within you being with us for less than 2 weeks. We have almost 24-hour support, both on the phone and by chat. So if you go to one of these other companies, they're not going to answer the phone. They are not going to answer the phone because you haven't paid them yet, right? We are going to prepare you, coach you for every single appointment you go on, and we're going to guarantee you win. And if we can't win for you, you're going to get your money back. Nobody else is going to guarantee you more than $1,000 a month for the rest of your life. We are the only people on planet Earth doing this, and I flat think that we wipe the floor with everyone else that does this. We do it the fastest, the most hassle-free. You're going to get the most money in the least amount of time. We absolutely crush it. That's why you should choose VetComm, because we lose if you lose. If you lose, we lose. We are unwilling to lose, which means we are unwilling for you to lose. And that's the really big difference, the key of what makes VetComm so successful.
So someone asked, how are fees based?
So our fee, as I just mentioned, we charge $997 one time. We also have payment plans, 3 payments of $400 or 6 payments of $250. If you can't just make the one payment of $997, it is the cheapest, and that's it. That's all you pay. And you're going to talk to us probably 25 times because you're going to get nervous and have anxiety, and you're going to text us. And you're going to call us and you're going to say, what the hell is this thing that the VA sent me? What do I say when I go to this appointment? I got this piece of information. What do I do with it? And we're going to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you, all for that $997 and guarantee your results. And you get to keep 100% of your back pay because that is your money. What else?
Awesome. One of the more, that was kind of the next question that was on the FAQ list, was how much do you guys charge? But I want to
address one more thing about the fee. So let me spell it out to you like this. I recently went to Disneyland. Some of you might have been to Disneyland, to Six Flags, to Knott's Berry Farm. All of these offer you a Fastpass. They might call it something different, but they're offering you the ability to cut the line, okay? I feel like if I already paid to go to Disney, I'm probably going to pay for the Fastpass too, because I do not want to wait in line with everyone else. Now, is everyone else going to get to the front of the line eventually? Yes. After waiting for 3 hours, being hot and tired and hassled and hungry and wanting to go home, whereas I'm going to get the Fastpass and I'm going to go ride 3 times more rides, have a blast, have a hassle-free experience, get every nickel and penny's worth that I paid to go to Disneyland. That is what VetComm is. We are the Fastpass to success. So if you're going to do it, you might as well do it the easiest way possible, knowing you are 100% assured to win. Because get this. The free guys, they take at least 12 months. You're going to lose $24,000 to $36,000. That is not free. I'm sorry. Just because it was free up front, it's going to cost you $24,000 to $36,000 while you wait. The other thing is they're going to get paid even if you lose. Where if you lose, we get nothing. We, in fact, go negative because we spend time and we'd have to refund you. It's a big difference. Got it.
So the same person asked, has anyone from Fort McKellen won?
Fort McKellen, like for, one of these presumptive things. We don't necessarily keep track of all the water and all the PACDAC and every single little thing. But what I will tell you is we have never refunded anyone because we lost. Ever. We have never failed a veteran and had to refund them. There are some older veterans who bought our service and had a panic attack and freaked out, so concerned that they wouldn't win that they literally couldn't deal with like the thought of defeat, and they bailed on themselves. We have never lost for anyone. We recently got a veteran who is 99 years old rated. Many veterans who are 88, 82, 85. We are the only people that will get you rated for the first time. We're the only people that will talk to all the spouses and do all the hard work and all the supplementals. We will do whatever it takes to get you where you are trying to go. So Fort McClellan, we don't care where it is. You could have served in space and been exposed to something. We're going to get you what you're owed. Does not matter. We will get it done. What else you got?
There's no more questions coming in for right now, but I feel like you should talk about the DoD. Like what makes VetComm incredible?
So one of the cool things, like people sometimes will go, well, why you? Like, I don't know you. I've never heard of you before. Like, who are you?
And you're not accredited.
Yeah, we're not accredited. Okay. So we covered accreditation. Hopefully you got that part. But here's who we are. I'm Kate Monroe. I'm the CEO of VetComm. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, as I stated, 100% rated, did the lion's share of it myself. We are now a publicly traded company. We trade under the stock symbol CEOS. We're about to uplist on a larger exchange. We are pacing to be uplisted next year all the way to the NASDAQ. We are a DoD skill bridge provider. We already employ 8 active duty military people. So if you know anybody active duty that needs a way to transition a soft space to land, we became one of the 4,000 companies in the entire US. Out of millions of companies, we're one of 4,000 where you can serve on active duty, get paid there, and then immediately transition out of service to come and work for us. There is almost nothing that we will not do for veterans. Another big thing about us, I just got done running for Congress as a Republican. It doesn't matter what, if you're a Democrat or Republican, I don't care. Even my husband's a Democrat. I could care less what you are. If you're a veteran, I am here to serve you. Our whole purpose is, I just got done crafting the framework for a bill called the Veterans Entrepreneur Act. Listen to this. You will soon be able to spend your GI Bill funds to start a business because of this lady right here. Because I am entrepreneurial, nothing matters more to me that you get the same shot that I got. I love being a business owner. I love employing and empowering people. It's important to me, and I thought it might be important to you. And that bill has already been introduced. So that's something that we also did. I and the company have been on Newsweek, USA Today, Epic Times, Fox News, Newsmax, LA Times, New York Post, Real America's Voice, the Wayne Allen Root Show, 40 or so different radio shows. I have been on the news 160 times in the last 6 months. We could not be a more credible company. We have a charity where we help veterans who are homeless transition out of being homeless. We actually take the time to put them all in a room and get them rated for free. We make all of their claims. We prepare them all. We go out and visit the homeless. Like, there is nothing that we will not do to help veterans. And if you have an idea that I haven't already thought of yet, I would love to hear about it, because I would love to give it life and deliver it to you, my fellow veterans.
Big Fish Guy said, so I just jumped in. I'm going to call you guys tomorrow. What do I need when I first call you guys?
When you first call us, having a good attitude is important, because so many people are so skeptical, right? Hopefully listening to me now, you realize that we're real. But what's going to happen when you call us, when you take us up on our review, everybody watching, if you're a veteran, everyone gets 15 minutes for free with us. Whether you do business with us or not, we're going to tell you how much we think you personally are owed, because we're going to run through your disabilities, listen to your story. We're going to tell you all the ways that you can get rated. We're going to sell you on why we have the magic beans, so to speak, to get you where you're trying to go. And then we present you the opportunity to make the right decision. If you want to get rated hassle-free in the least amount of time for the most money, we're a good fit. But really, you just need to get on the call with your ears open and, take it seriously and realize this conversation is the difference between you making $1,000 to $4,000 a month tax-free a month for the rest of your life. It's a very important conversation, and it's something that we want to give as a gift to the veteran community. Like I said, even if you don't do business with us, we want you to understand what business you should be doing, right, for you and your family. Anything else?
I think we covered pretty much everything. Is there anything else that you maybe wanted to...
I guess like something that I would leave you with is this. I used to feel like I was not a hero Marine, right? The Marines, the Navy SEALs, the Green Berets, they're known for being like the heroes. And even though I was assaulted and smashed my nose and my ankle and my elbow, I didn't get to finish my service the way I wanted, and I felt devalued in my service, and I thought, I don't deserve it. I'm going to leave it for the people that do. There's somebody out there deserves it more than me. But then I realized that that was just a lie that I was sold. That was a lie that I was telling myself, that was not the truth, right? I prayed on it, and I realized that's just not even how budgets work. So if you're sitting there watching me now thinking, this sounds great, and I'd love to have the money, but like there's somebody else out there who could use it, it's not going to that person. It's not going to that person. It's going somewhere that you don't want. It's going to a war you wouldn't fund. It's going to keep the border open. It's going to line the pockets of those in Congress and the Senate. I have sat in these meetings with the Veteran Affairs Committee, and I hate to tell you the cold hard truth. They spend 90% of their time figuring out how to send us into the grave with nothing. That's what they want. They hope that you get so tired and worn out and so down and so distraught and desperate that you end your own life, that you give up on getting benefits, that you tell your fellow veterans that they don't deserve it either. But here's what I'm going to tell you. We are not the you served, you deserve guys. We're the you went in the service whole and you got out less than whole, and you're owed that delta. Owed. Because I know this about me and I know this about you. When you are owed money, you go get it. This is money you are owed, and there's a bank account sitting out there with your name on it, but every month you don't take the money. They claw that money out, and they do evil, horrible things with it. So if you're watching this now, and you're not rated for enough, and you're not rated, today's your day. We're here for you. Let's get it done.
There was one more question.
One more question.
From Big Fish Guy.
Big Fish Guy. I appreciate you, sir, whoever you are.
He asked, do they have copies of our medical records after so many years?
That's a very good question. So, two buckets. I'm going to answer this. Do they have our medical records after so many years in two ways? One, it almost doesn't even matter, right? We have been sold to believe if you don't have your records, you can't get rated for it. That's a bunch of bullshit. That is just something that they told us so that we would go, well, I didn't go tell them I was assaulted. I didn't go and tell them I was depressed. I didn't go tell them when I broke my ankle. The truth is, they only have to be 50% or more sure it happened in service to pay you for it. So let's say you jumped out of airplanes and you claim that you hurt your back and your ankles and your knees. A million other people claim the same thing and won. It's highly likely that that happened to you in service. It's not very hard to prove. If you had a highly stressful job, very easy to get rated for anxiety. So most people that we help here at VetComm don't have any records. 90% of people come to us with nothing, and we successfully get them to 100%. We don't even worry about it. Doesn't even matter. We don't care. That's a liar being told. The second part is, do they have your records? Most of the time, 99% of the time, they have your records. And people always go, well, you better request your record because you're going to need it to make your claim. Well, who are you requesting it from? Where is the record coming from? It's coming from the VA. They already have your record. So at VetComm, we need your memory. Do you remember falling down? Do you remember getting assaulted? Do you remember being in combat? Do you remember your stressful job? If you do, you're going to tell us, and we're going to tell them to pay you for it. So I hope that answers your question. But we have helped people that their records were burned in giant fire. Some of the records are like literally can't even read them anymore. It doesn't matter. Do not let that stand in your way. That's just a bunch of BS. So as I say, I got out in 1979, but symptoms occurred only in the last few years. So it doesn't matter when you got out. You could have got out. Well, we just helped a guy, 63 years he's been out, Floyd? Guy's been out for 63 years. There's literally nothing in his record. He came and told me that he has PTSD from being in a typhoon 63 years ago. What are the odds that this typhoon was memorialized anywhere? I happened to find it on Google, and we ended up getting him rated. But it doesn't matter. The Nexus, the starting point of the thing, had to start in service. If they believe it started there, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. We will make them pay you for it.
So there's another question.
Another question.
Someone says, I got out in 1979.
I read it. That's one I just answered. I answered you, sir. Mr. 1979. Okay. Come to VetComm. It doesn't matter how long you've been out. We'll make it happen.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I think that's...
I hope that's it. But I want to leave you guys with this. Stop waiting, start rating. You're missing out on so much money and benefits. And if you're like the richest person on earth and you don't need the money, we need the money. We will take the money. We will help homeless people with it. You're never too rich. And if you're too rich, do you still really want them spending your money on God knows what? Absolutely not. You do not want to do it. If you go to vetcom.us on our page, you can fill out a little form and it'll let you request to have that free review. Also, if you go up to the top of TikTok, it's going to give you a number. You can call or text it. And we do this. We have a giant staff of people and they are awaiting your call. We love you. We're excited to meet you. And we hope you get your rated.